Okay, so now we will solve few questions of this particular unit of Rankine cycle. The first question says, for a given set of operating pressure limits, the Rankine of a Rankine cycle, the highest efficiency occurs in. Okay, so highest efficiency, as I told you, is for a regenerative cycle. Okay, next, consider a Rankine cycle with superheat. If the maximum pressure of the cycle is increased without changing the maximum temperature and minimum pressure, the dryness fraction of the steam after isentropic expansion will be. Okay, so what it is said is, the maximum pressure of the cycle is increased. That means suppose initially the cycle is like this. Okay, now we are increasing the maximum pressure without changing the maximum temperature and minimum pressure. Okay, so now the maximum pressure is increased, suppose up to this point. Maximum temperature is same, that means this point will not change, and minimum pressure is changed, this point will not change. That means the dryness fraction will decrease. Obviously dryness fraction was more before, now the dryness fraction is less, and it is said in the question that dryness fraction will increase. So this statement is false. Getting this or not? Okay, next question. Okay, a Rankine cycle operates between a pressure limit of 80 bar and 0.1 bar. The cycle temperature is, the maximum cycle temperature is 600 degrees centigrade. If the steam turbine and condensate pump efficiencies are given, which is 0.9 and 0.8 respectively, calculate the specific work and thermal efficiency. The steam table extract is given below. Okay, so first thing, I will draw the Rankine cycle first. The TS diagram. Okay, now here the this is operating between the pressure limit of 80 bar and 0.1 bar. Maximum pressure is given as 80 bar, this pressure is 80 bar, and this is 0.1 bar. Maximum cycle temperature at this point, at point 1, the cycle temperature is given as, this is suppose 1, 2, 3 and 4. At point 1, the cycle temperature is given as 600 degree centigrade. Okay, we are having the steam and condensate condenser pump efficiencies, steam and pump efficiency. That means the actual point will be somewhere here at 2 dash. Similarly, this will be at 4 dash, because turbine and pump efficiencies are given. Now we have to calculate the specific work and thermal efficiency, and the steam table extracts are given below. So for calculating the work and thermal efficiency, the very first thing is to determine the enthalpies at all points. जैसे ही हम enthalpy निकाल लेंगे, we'll be able to determine the work and the efficiency. So enthalpies at all points, the very first thing is the enthalpy at point 1, H1. What will be this H1? So at 80 bar and 600 degree centigrade. At 80 bar 600 degree centigrade, the H is given as how much? 3642 kilojoule per kg. 80 bar and 600 degree centigrade. Now at this point S1 is also given, which is 7.0206 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This is S1. Okay. Now in order to determine this S2 dash, first we will have to determine this H2. And since S1 is equal to S2, process 1-2 is an isentropic process. Okay, so S1 here will be equal to S2. Okay, and this S2 at this point will be equal to SF plus X2 SFG. Okay, now we have the value of this 7.0206 is equal to SF plus X2 SFG at 0.1 bar. Getting this now? यहाँ पर S is equal to, because this is a wet steam region. Now how do you know that this is a wet steam region? Because हमारा S की वैल्यू कितनी आ रही है? 7.0206. At point this S is equal to 7.0206. और यहाँ पर Sg की वैल्यू 0.1 बार पे अगर मैं Sg देखूँ at 0.1 बार, the value of this Sg is 8.1494. That means ये 8.1494 है, अपना 7.0206 है. Obviously this will be in wet steam region. Okay, so this is wet steam region and entropy at wet steam region 7.0206. This is equal to SF at 0.1 bar. SF is 0.6488 plus x, which we have to determine, into SFG. SFG means SG minus SF. So this will be 8.1494 minus 0.6488. Okay, so from here this x2 will be equal to 0.85. Getting this? Okay, now once you have the value of x2, you can determine the value of h2. So this h2 will be equal to what? h2 is equal to hf plus x2 hfg at 0.1 bar. Just put the value hf and hfg are given here. Hf at 0.1 bar is given, which is 191.9 plus x2 0.85 into hfg, hg minus hf 2584.2 minus 191.9. Okay, so from here this h2 will be equal to 2225.35 kilojoule per kg. This is h2. Okay, now but we have to determine the value of this h2 dash, then only we will be able to determine the work done, क्योंकि actual work done कितना है यहाँ पर h1 minus h2 dash, ना कि h1 minus h2. h1 minus h2 is the ideal work, but actual work is h1 minus h2 dash. Okay, so we will put the formula for efficiency. Efficiency of turbine is actual work upon ideal work. Okay, actual work is less, ideal work is more. Okay, actual work is how much? h1 minus h2 dash. Actual work is h1 minus h2 dash, and ideal work is h1 minus h2. So just put the value. Efficiency of turbine 0.9 is equal to h1, which is 3642 minus h2 dash divided by 3642 minus 5.35. Getting this? So from here this h2 dash will be equal to 2367 kilojoule per kg. h2 dash. Clear or not? Okay, now next thing is to determine the value of this h3. Okay, so now what will be this h3? So h3 is nothing but hf at 0.1 bar. h3 क्या होगा? h3 is nothing but at this point, the value of h at this point, which is nothing but hf at 0.1 bar. Okay, so this h3 is equal to hf at 0.1 bar. So this will be equal to, at 0.1 bar hf is equal to 191.9. so this h3 will be equal to 191.9 kilojoule per kg. Getting this now? Okay, now next thing is to determine the value of h4. Okay, so for h4, as I have told you, कैसे determine कर सकते हैं? Pump work is equal to VDP. Okay, pump work is VDP, which is actually equal to h4 minus h3. Pump work here is h4 minus h3. h4 minus h3. Okay, now what is V here? V will be constant, which is equal to Vf at 0.1 bar, or you can say V3. Okay, so this will be V3 into dP, which is P1 minus P2 is equal to H4 minus S3. Okay, now this V3 is nothing but Vf at 0.1 bar. 0.1 bar pe Vf, which is 0.001003. This will be equal to 0.001003 into P1 minus P2. 80 minus 0.1. 80 minus 0.1, this is in bar, इसको कर दो किलो पास्कल में, into 10 raised power 2 is equal to H4 minus S3 is how much? 191.9. Okay, so from here this H4 will be equal to, just put the value, you will get H4 as 199.91 kilojoule per kg. Getting this one? Okay, now we have the value of H4, but the actual pump work is different from this H4. Actual position is different, which is at H4 dash, which is at 0.4 dash, sorry. Okay, तो अब क्या करना है? H4 dash निकालना है by putting pump efficiency. Okay, so pump efficiency. Now what will be pump efficiency? So as I have already told you, in pump ideal work will be less, actual work will be more, because in pump the work is consumed by the system, by the power plant. Okay, तो ideally the work जो work हमको देना पड़ रहा है, ideally that work should be less. So ideal work should be less, actual work should be more. So the efficiency of pump should be equal to ideal work upon actual work. Ideal work is H4 minus S3, actual work is H4 dash minus S3. Okay, so this efficiency of pump is equal to H4 minus S3 upon H4 dash minus S3. Getting this? So just put the value. Pump work is given as 0.8 is equal to H4 199.91 minus 191.9 divided by H4 dash minus 191.9. Okay, so from here this H4 dash will be equal to 201.91 kilojoule per kg. Getting this now? Okay, so the thermal efficiency as we know will be equal to W net by Q1. What is W net? W turbine minus W pump divided by Q1. W turbine is H1 minus S2 dash minus W pump is H4 dash minus S3 divided by Q1. Okay, so this Q1 actual work is H1 minus H4 dash, turbine work, pump work is H4 dash minus S3 divided by Q1 which is H1 minus H4 dash. Okay, so they divided by H1 minus H4 dash. So just put all the values. So this thermal efficiency will be equal to 3642 minus 2367 minus 201.91 minus 191.9 divided by 3642 minus 201.91. Okay, so this efficiency will be equal to 36.7%. Getting this? So this is how you can determine this thermal efficiency. Obviously this process is little lengthy and this question was actually asked in GATE 98 for 5 marks. Okay, so this is worth making for 5 marks. But इसमें एक चीज़ हम कर सकते हैं, वी कैन अवॉइड द पंप वर्क, क्योंकि पंप वर्क अगर हम निगलेक्ट भी करें तब भी आंसर में बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay, so if you are getting such type of questions for 1 mark or 2 mark, what you can do is you can avoid pump work. You will get almost same answer. So on neglecting pump work, because pump work के कारण देखो हमारे कितनी चीज़ बढ़ रही है, ये पूरी प्रोसेस हमारी बढ़ रही है. Because of pump work we have to calculate here this first this H4. ओके, उसके बाद फिर H4 के कारण हम H4 डैश कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं. तो ये पूरी प्रोसेस सिर्फ और सिर्फ पंप वर्क को कंसिडर करने के कारण बढ़ रही है. इंस्टेड अगर हम पंप वर्क को अवॉइड करते हैं देन डायरेक्टली दिस H3 विल बी इक्वल टू H4. तो H3 तक निकाला हमने, H3 को H4 के इक्वल ले लिया एंड देन प्रोसेस बिकम्स वेरी इजी. ओके, तो अगर हम पंप वर्क अवॉइड भी करते हैं, आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू कि कितना डिफरेंस आता है, बहुत ज़्यादा, बहुत मार्जिनल डिफरेंस आता है एंड यू कैन कंसिडर दैट डिफरेंस. नो, यू कैन अवॉइड दैट डिफरेंस आई शुड से. सो ऑन निगलेक्टिंग पंप वर्क, so this thermal efficiency will be equal to 3642. पंप वर्क अवॉइड करने पर क्या होगा, दिस विल बी H1 माइनस H2 डैश 3642 माइनस 2367. ओके, डिवाइडेड बाय, नाउ हियर दिस विल बी H1 माइनस H4. ओके, पंप वर्क अगर हम अवॉइड कर रहे हैं दिस विल बी H1 माइनस H4 एंड दिस H4 इज एक्चुअली इक्वल टू S3. सो दिस विल बी एक्चुअली H1 माइनस S3. H1 इज 3642 minus S3 is 191.9. So this will be equal to 36.9%. Okay, hardly 0.2% का डिफरेंस हमको मिला है. ओके, सो अगर हम टाइम सेव करना चाहते हैं देन वी कैन निगलेक्ट पंप वर्क एंड वी कैन सॉल्व इट डायरेक्टली. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ सुपरहीट रैंकाइन साइकिल इज हायर देन दैट ऑफ द सिंपल रैंकाइन साइकिल. सुपरहीट रैंकाइन साइकिल की एफिशिएंसी हायर होती है एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट इज बिकॉज द मीन टेम्परेचर ऑफ हीट एडिशन इन द सुपरहीट साइकिल इज मोर. That means the answer should be B. The mean temperature of heat addition is higher for a superheat cycle. Next question, in a Rankine cycle, regeneration results in higher efficiency. Again, why regeneration results in higher efficiency? Because with regeneration, we are actually increasing the mean temperature of heat addition. The average temperature of heat addition in the boiler increases. Next question says, an economizer in a steam generator performs the function of. Now, what is the function of economizer? So there are two devices, two accessories you should say in the boiler, that is economizer and the air preheater. और दोनों के functions more or less same होते हैं. Now what is this economizer and air preheater? डिटेल में हम उसको बॉयलर में पढ़ेंगे. I will just tell you the overview from here. So we have this the layout of the power plant और इसका हमने function देखा जैसे कि रैंकाइन साइकिल में क्या होता है. सबसे पहले in this boiler the steam is generated. That steam is then passed through the turbine where the shaft is rotated and further through generator electricity is produced. Okay, now the remaining steam is coming to this condenser and here that steam will condense completely और उसमें जो water है अलग से भी water उसमें डाला जाता है and then through this water pump this will again be fed to this boiler. Water pump के through then this will be fed to the boiler. Now in this process what we can do is in order to increase the efficiency. अब इसमें efficiency हम कैसे increase कर सकते हैं for this power plant. So for this ये boiler से जो flue gases निकल रही है, जो waste gases, जो burnt out gases निकल रही है, that has got some higher temperature. So instead of just flowing it out into the atmosphere, ultimately हमको उसको atmosphere में ही छोड़ना है with the help of chimney. Okay, and ultimately उसकी heat ultimately loss ही हो रही है. So what we can do is we can use that heat. How we can use that heat? In order to preheat the water and in order to preheat the air. with the help of economizer and preheater and air preheater. Okay, so इसमें हम क्या कर रहे हैं, what we are doing is the flue gases is coming to the economizer. This is an economizer here. The flue gases, the waste gases of the boiler is coming to this economizer. Okay, the flue gases जिसका temperature high है, that is coming to the economizer, and through this economizer this feed water pump is also pumping the water. जो water directly boiler में जाना चाहिए था वो boiler में directly ना जाके it is passing through this economizer. So what will happen, यहाँ की जो air है, यहाँ की जो flue gases है जिसका temperature high है, it will pass its heat to the water, feed water. ओके, अपनी हीट ये किस में ट्रांसफर करेगा, फीड वाटर में ट्रांसफर करेगा, एंड इस फीड वाटर का टेम्परेचर एक इनिशियल लेवल पे थोड़ा सा इंक्रीज कर देगा. तो उससे होगा क्या, देन दिस बॉयलर विल हैव द वाटर इन एट द एलिवेटेड टेम्परेचर. बॉयलर में जो वाटर जाएगा डेट विल बी एट एलिवेटेड टेम्परेचर, ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर में जाएगा. देन उस टेम्परेचर को इंक्रीज करने में बॉयलर को फ्यूल जो है कंपेरेटिवली कम लगेगा. Okay, suppose this boiler has to increase the temperature in first case from 30 degree centigrade to suppose 200 degree centigrade, and in second case suppose this has to increase the temperature from 70 to 200 degree centigrade. I am just giving you an example. Okay, तो obviously इस 70 से 200 degree centigrade तक increase करने के लिए उसको less fuel लगेगा as compared to this. So what we are doing is we are heating the water, we are preheating the water I should say. बॉयलर में जाने के पहले ही उसको प्री हीट कर रहे हैं, तो इससे क्या होगी, हमारी एफिशिएंसी जो है वो इंक्रीज होगी, फ्यूल कंजम्पशन जो है वो कम होगा. गेटिंग दिस नॉट, दिस इज द फंक्शन ऑफ इकोनोमाइजर. और सेम इसी का भाई है एयर प्री हीटर. what the air preheater is doing, जो एयर बॉयलर में आती है, ओके, बॉयलर नीड्स एयर इन ऑर्डर टू हैव द कंबशन. तो जो एयर डायरेक्टली बॉयलर में आ रही है वो डायरेक्टली ना आके दैट पासेस थ्रू दिस एयर प्रीहीटर. ओके, एयर प्रीहीटर में यहाँ से जो फ्लू गैसेस निकल रही, दिस इज गेटिंग टू द एयर प्रीहीटर. ओके, देन जो एयर इसमें आ रही है, दिस एयर इन द बॉयलर इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दिस एयर प्रीहीटर. ओके, तो डायरेक्टली एयर एटमॉस्फेयर से ना लेके दैट एयर इज फर्स्ट पास थ्रू द एयर प्रीहीटर एंड देन इट इज पास थ्रू दिस बॉयलर. तो जो एयर अंदर आ रही है उसका टेम्परेचर इनिशियली जो कम था उसको हमने एक लेवल तक बढ़ा दिया. Again efficiency will increase. Okay, so these are two devices, economizer which is used to preheat the water and air preheater which is used to preheat the air. More or less दोनों के functions same है. Okay, now an economizer in a steam generator perform the function of preheating the feed water. That's it. Getting this? Okay, next question. In Rankine cycle, when the superheated steam is used, what happens? The thermal efficiency increases. Yes, increases. Steam consumption decreases. Yes, steam consumption also decreases. 3600 upon W net, or W net, if W net is increasing, obviously steam consumption will decrease. Then steam dryness after expansion increases. Yes, when we are using the superheated steam, as I have told you. Okay, if we are not using the superheated steam, we will get the condition of steam after expansion at this point. But when we are using the superheated steam, then this will be at this point like this. Okay, so obviously the dryness fraction is also increasing. Okay, so answer should be all of the above, all of the above. Okay, now next question. In a Rankine cycle, heat is added. Okay, heat is added in the Rankine cycle, obviously reversibly at constant pressure. Heat is added at constant pressure. Okay, next question says, in a single heater regenerative cycle, steam enters the turbine at 30 bar and 300 degree centigrade and condenser pressure is 0.096 bar. Okay, so I will first draw the regenerative cycle. Okay, so the steam is entering in this turbine at 30 bar and 300 degree centigrade. Okay, the condenser pressure is given. Okay, now condenser pressure is given as 0.096 bar. The feed water heater is a direct contact type which operates at 5 bar. Feed water heater regenerator is operating at 5 bar. Okay, draw the flow and HS diagram considering the condition of steam at entry to the heater in mixture region. Calculate the heat calculate the steam extracted from heater to the turbine in kg per kg of steam flow rate, steam flow the cycle and the cycle efficiencies. The enthalpy of the steam at different location of the cycle are given below, given in a table below. Pump work may be neglected. So what we have to do here is, first we have to calculate the steam extracted from heater to the turbine. Okay, that means suppose m mass of the steam is flowing in the regenerator. The remaining mass, suppose for 1 kg of mass, remaining mass will be 1 minus m. Okay, so we have to first determine the value of this m. Suppose this is 0.1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Getting this now? Okay. Now, as I told you, the equation for regenerator directly we can write. What is the equation for regenerator? That is m into S2. Okay, m into S2 plus 1 minus m into H5. 1 minus m into H5 is equal to H6. Okay, you should practice enough so that you can make it directly, make this equation directly. आपको flow diagram की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए इसमें. Okay, however इसमें flow diagram वगैरह बनाने बोला है, but that is not required for our point of view. Okay, so क्या करना है? Directly write the equation m into H2 plus 1 minus m into H5 is equal to H6. Okay, now what are the enthalpies at all the points? So first thing is to determine the enthalpy at all points. Okay, now what are the enthalpies? Okay, at point 1, at 30 bar, directly enthalpies are given. At entry of the turbine, the enthalpy is given as 2993.5 kilojoule per kg. Okay, now at entry of the reheater, point 2 की enthalpy दे दी है 2622.22. Okay, now third, at entry to the condenser, point 3 की enthalpy दे दी है 2056.39. Exit of the compressor, that means point 4 की enthalpy दे दी है how much? 188.45. Okay, and exit of the heater, that means point 6 की भी enthalpy दे दी है how much? 640.23. and we have to neglect the pump work. Okay, that is the best thing. Now from here just put the value. So here this will be equal to m into S2 minus H5. S2 is 2622.22 minus H5. H5 will be taken as equal to H4. Pump work is neglected, so H5 is equal to H4, which is equal to 188.45. This is equal to H6 minus H5. Okay, H6 minus H5. What is H6 here? 640.23 minus H5, which is H4, 188.45. So from here, this mass which is flowing is 0.185 kg per kg of steam flow. Getting this now? Okay, so this is how you can determine mass. And once you have determined the mass, then to determine the cycle efficiency is very simple. What is efficiency of the cycle? So this efficiency will be equal to, I will just tell you the formula, you can determine the efficiency. This will be equal to H1 minus S2. Okay, efficiency will be work done. Efficiency is what? Work done W net upon Q1. Okay, and what is W net here? H1 minus S2. Okay, plus 1 minus m into H2 minus S3. H1 minus S2 plus 1 minus m into H2 minus S3. Okay, this is turbine work. Pump work has to be neglected. Divided by heat supplied, which is nothing but H1 minus H7. Divided by H1 minus H7. Okay, so we have all the values. H7 can be taken as equal to H6. Okay, so from here we can determine the thermal efficiency. Clear or not? Okay, now next question. The boiler rating is usually defined in terms of, steam output in kg per hour. How much steam the boiler is generating, उसके बेस पे उसकी रेटिंग की जाती है in that how much steam in kg per hour that boiler is generating. Okay, next question says dry saturated steam enters a frictionless adiabatic nozzle with a negligible velocity at a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. It is expanded to a pressure of 5000 kilopascal. The mass flow rate is 1 kg per second. Calculate the exit velocity of the steam. Okay, so initially the condition of the steam is a dry saturated steam. This is a dry saturated steam is entering. Okay, if I just show you this thing in the TS diagram. Okay, dry saturated, that means at this point, it is entering at this point at negligible velocity at a temperature, that means this T1, the temperature T1 is given as 300 degrees centigrade. It is expanded to a pressure up to 5000 kilopascal. Now it is expanded up to a pressure of 5000 kilopascal. Okay, and since it is given that it enters a frictionless adiabatic nozzle, frictionless adiabatic nozzle, that means a reversible adiabatic process, isentropic process, a vertical line 1 to 2. Getting this now? Okay, now the mass flow rate is given as 1 kg per second. We have to calculate the exit velocity of steam. So for exit velocity of steam, we will have to put steady flow energy equation, and for that it is essential that we determine the value of H1 and H2 first. Okay, so H1 we can easily determine. H1 is nothing but Hg at 300 degree centigrade. 300 degree centigrade pe this is a saturation, dry saturated steam. That means H1 is equal to Hg at 300 degree centigrade. Okay, so Hg at 300 degree centigrade is given, which is 2751. This will be 2751 kilojoule per kg. Getting this? Similarly, S1 is equal to Sg at 300 degree centigrade. So this will be equal to, entropy is 7081, and we know what S1 is equal to S2 is equal to SF plus X SFG at 0.2 at P2. Getting this now? Okay, now this is equal to 5.7081 is equal to SF and SFG we have to determine at 5000 kilopascal. So at 5000 kilopascal SF is 2.9206 plus X into SFG, SG minus SF, which is 5.9735 minus 2.9206. Okay, so from here this X will be equal to 0.913. Getting this? Okay, now what will be H2 now? So this H2 will be equal to, okay, now H2 we can determine easily. How? H2 is equal to HF plus X HFG at pressure P2. Okay, so just put the value. So this will be 1154 at 0.2, HF is 1154.5, HFG is this minus this, so this will be 1154.5 plus 0.913 X into HFG, which is 2794.2 minus 1154.5. So this will be equal to 2651.65 kilojoule per kg. Okay. Now once you have the value of this H1 and S2, now you can put a steady flow energy equation here. Okay, now what is the steady flow energy equation? H1 plus V1 square by 2000 plus Q is equal to S2 plus V2 square by 2000 plus W. Okay, now since this is a adiabatic nozzle, so Q will be equal to 0, heat transfer 0, and since this is a nozzle, that means the work done, shaft work, is also equal to 0. And one more thing, it is said in the question that the initial velocity can be negligible. So this is also equal to 0. So finally you get what? So from here this V2 is equal to under root of 2000 into H1 minus S2. Okay, so just put the values. So this will be equal to, V2 is equal to under root of 2000 into 2751 minus 2651.65. Okay, so from here this V2 will be equal to 445.75 meter per second. Getting this or not? Okay, so the answer should be 445.75 meter per second. Clear or not? Okay, next question. A steam power plant has a boiler efficiency of 92%, turbine efficiency of 94%, generator efficiency of 95%, cycle efficiency of 44%, okay, and 6% of generator power is used in the auxiliaries. Okay, then the overall plant efficiency is, so overall plant efficiency, auxiliary efficiency is 6% is used in auxiliary, that means the efficiency will be 94%, 0.94. Overall plant efficiency will be equal to boiler efficiency into turbine efficiency into generator efficiency into the cycle efficiency into auxiliary efficiency. So just put all the value, 0.94, 0.95, 0.44 and 0.94. That's it. So from here we will get what, 33.9% or approximately 34% answer. Clear or not? Okay, next question. Okay, simple question, I am leaving it up to you, you can solve it by yourself. Next question says, an adiabatic steam turbine receives the dry saturated steam at 10 megapascal and discharges it at 0.1 megapascal. The steam flows at the rate of 3 kg per second and moisture at exit is negligible. If the ambient temperature is 300 Kelvin, determine the rate of entropy production and the lost power. Okay, so we have got one adiabatic turbine. I will draw the TS diagram first. Okay, so this is an adiabatic turbine. We have got one adiabatic turbine. Initially, it is receiving the dry saturated steam at 10 megapascal. So this is 0.1. Okay, the pressure here is 10 megapascal. Getting this? Okay, now, and discharges at 0.1 megapascal. The steam flow rate is given. And the moisture at the exit is negligible. Moisture at the exit is negligible means जहाँ पर भी discharge हो रहा है at 0.1 megapascal. Okay, here the moisture is negligible. That means this will be at this point, almost at this point. So our line would be, curve would be like this. Getting this or not? Okay, moisture at exit is negligible. That means यहाँ dryness fraction is almost equal to 1. Clear or not? Okay, so this is our point 2. Now, here we can what we have to do here is we have to determine the rate of entropy production. Now, what is entropy production? We know entropy, we know total change in entropy del S is equal to dq by T plus entropy production or entropy generation. Entropy transfer, total change in entropy, as we have already discussed in the unit of entropy. Entropy change total किसके कारण होता है? First is because of entropy transfer, which is basically because of heat transfer, and second is because of entropy generation, which is basically because of irreversibility. Okay, और ये जो हो रहा है, this is nothing but irreversibility. Irreversibility के कारण ही ये इस तरह का कर्व मिल रहा है. If it was a reversible, then it would have been a straight line, as we have already discussed. Okay, now this total change in entropy, you can write it as m into S2 minus S1. This is equal to, now this is what will be this dq by T. Now because this is an adiabatic steam turbine, adiabatic turbine hai, that means this dq will be equal to 0, this term will be equal to 0, so this will be equal to S generation. Getting this or not? Okay, so whatever is m into S2 minus S1, that will be our entropy generation or entropy production. Now this S1 and S2, to determine this S1 and S2 is very simple. S1 is nothing but Sg at 10 megapascal, which is equal to Sg at 10 megapascal is 6.586 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Okay, S2 is again Sg at 0.1 megapascal, which is equal to 7.359 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Okay, so just put the value. Mass flow rate is given, which is 3 kg per second, so this will be equal to 3 into 6.586 minus 7.359 S2 minus S1, this is S2 minus S1, 7.359 minus 6.586, this is equal to entropy generation or entropy production. So from here, this entropy generation, S generation, will be equal to what? 2.319 kilojoule per second per Kelvin. This is entropy generation, 2.319 kilowatt per second per Kelvin. Getting this now? Okay, so first thing is we have to determine the rate of entropy generation, which we have determined. Second thing is to determine the lost power. Lost power is nothing but irreversibility. Okay, so how can we determine the irreversibility? So as we know, irreversibility I is nothing but T naught into del S. Okay, irreversibility is nothing but T naught into del S universe, or entropy generation you can call it as T naught into del S universe, or del S universe is nothing but entropy generation. So just put the value. So this I will be equal to T naught, which is 300, into entropy generation 2.319. So this will be equal to 695.7 kilowatt. Answer. Okay, so this is the lost power. Irreversibility is nothing but lost power. Clear or not? Okay, next question. Consider a steam power plant using a reheat cycle as shown. Steam leaves the boiler and enters the turbine at 4 megapascal and 350 degrees centigrade. Steam is leaving the boiler and entering the turbine at 4 megapascal and 350 degrees centigrade. The entropy at this point, this is the point H3, the entropy at this point is given as 3095 kilojoule per kg. Now after expansion in the turbine to 400 kilopascal, okay, after expansion in the turbine, the pressure here is given as 400 kilopascal and entropy here is given as 2609 kilojoule per kg. Now it is entering into the reheater, it is now reheated up to 350 degrees centigrade and entropy here is 3170 kilojoule per kg and then expanded in the flow pressure turbine, sorry, this is low pressure turbine, expanded in the low pressure turbine to 10 kilopascal. Then it is expanded in the low pressure turbine to 10 kilopascal. Here pressure is given as 10 kilopascal and enthalpy is given as 2165 kilojoule per kg. Okay. Now we have to determine the thermal efficiency of the plant, neglecting pump work. Very simple to determine. What is thermal efficiency? Total W net by Q1. Okay. Now what is the work done? Total work done is work done by this high pressure turbine plus work done by this low pressure turbine minus pump work, and pump work as said is neglected. So total work done here will be equal to first S3 minus H4, work done in high pressure turbine is S3 minus H4 plus then it is reheated up to 0.5, then from 5 to 6 again it is expanded in the turbine, so this will be plus H5 minus H6. This is total W net डिवाइडेड बाय Q1 टोटल हीट ट्रांसफ़र. ओके ओके, तो हीट ट्रांसफ़र कहाँ कहाँ हो रही है? एक तो ये फ्रॉम 2 to 3, 2 से 3 तक एक बार हीट ट्रांसफ़र हो रही है. ओके, देन इट इज़ रीहीटेड फ्रॉम 4 to 5. ओके, सो टोटल हीट ट्रांसफ़र विल बी इक्वल टू H3 minus H2 फर्स्ट थिंग प्लस H5 minus H4. Getting is not? Okay, so just put all the values. So S3 is given how much? 3095 minus H4 is given as 2609 minus H5 is given as 3170 minus H6 is given as 2165 divided by H3 which is 3095 minus H2. Now because pump work is neglected, so this H2 will be taken as H1 which is 29.3 plus H5 which is 3170 minus H4 which is 2609. Getting this? So from here this thermal efficiency will be equal to, just calculate this, you will get 41.4%. So answer is approximately 41.1%. Approximate answer. Clear or not? Okay, next the enthalpy at the pump discharge S2, value of this S2. Since this S2 is not given, S2 की value यहाँ given नहीं है, so what can be this S2? So directly you can predict it from the option itself. Okay, S2 की value जो रहेगी from pump exit, at pump exit, obviously pump exit पे जो enthalpy रहती है that is greater than that of the pump inlet. Okay, whatever is the enthalpy at pump inlet, उससे ज़्यादा आपके pump exit की enthalpy रहेगी. Okay, we have seen the TS diagram many times. I will draw it again. Suppose this is the TS diagram. Okay, so here at pump exit the enthalpy is more as compared to at pump inlet. Okay, so directly you can predict it from here. At pump inlet the enthalpy is 29.3, so your answer should be greater than 29.3. so this cannot be the answer, this cannot be, this cannot be, this is the only answer you can get. Getting this? तो इसलिए क्योंकि और कोई चीज़ इसमें दी नहीं है. अगर इफ़ यू हैव द वैल्यू ऑफ द प्रेशर, दोनों पॉइंट का अगर प्रेशर डिफरेंस है आपके पास और अगर स्पेसिफिक वॉल्यूम है, देन यू कैन डिटरमाइन पंप वर्क. ओके, बट वो भी नहीं दिया है. सो द ओनली वे टू सॉल्व दिस इज टू यूज द कॉमन सेंस दैट एंथैल्पी हियर विल बी ग्रेटर देन एंथैल्पी एट दिस पॉइंट. सो द ओनली ऑप्शन कैन बी 33.3 किलोजूल पर केजी. क्लियर और नॉट? ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Determine the correctness or otherwise of the following assertion and reason. In a power plant working in a Rankine cycle, the regenerative feed water heating improves the efficiency of the steam turbine. Yes, this is correct. Regenerative feed water always improves the efficiency. The reason given is regenerative feed water raises the average temperature of the heat addition. This is also correct. This increases the mean temperature of heat addition, as I have already told you. So answer should be A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct reason for A. Okay, next question. Which combination of the following statement is correct? The incorporation of reheater in the steam power plant. incorporation of the reheater in the steam power plant always increases the thermal efficiency? No, it does not always increases the thermal efficiency, as we have already discussed कि इसमें work done तो बढ़ता है no doubt, but साथ साथ में heat transfer भी बढ़ता है, so it is not always possible, it is not always necessary that efficiency will be improved. Always increases the dryness fraction of the steam at condenser inlet? Yes, this is true, because with the implementation of reheater, obviously the dryness fraction increases, which was otherwise at this point, but reheater के साथ इस point पे आ गया. Always increases the mean temperature of heat addition? Yes, mean temperature of heat addition भी increase होगी, because जो second stage की जो heat addition है, that is at higher temperature, so mean temperature of heat addition also increases. So this Q and S are correct. Getting this now? Okay, next question says a thermal power plant operates on a regenerative cycle with a single open feed water heater as shown in figure. For the state points shown, the enthalpies are H1 and S2 are given. The bleed to the feed water heater is 20% of the steam generation rate. The specific enthalpy at point 3 is. Okay, so if I draw the regenerative cycle here, now what are the points given here? Okay, so at turbine exit, at the entry of the feed water heater, at the entry of the regenerator I should say, so this is point 1, regeneration की entry पे point 1 है. Then जो after condensate, condenser से जो आ रहा है after getting to the pump, this point is point 2, which is getting to the regenerator. So this is point 2. So understand this point is very essential. उसके बाद फिर क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल हो जाता है. And then इसके बाहर जो आ रहा है, this is point 3. Okay. Now you can easily make the equation simple. M mass is getting bled here, which is 20% of the total mass. Okay. So equation is, as we have already discussed this, M into H1 plus 1 minus M into H2 is equal to S3. Sorry. That's it. Okay, so just put the value. M is 0.2, 20% is bled, into H1 is how much? H1 is given, which is 2800, plus 1 minus M, which is 0.8, into H2 is 200, is equal to S3. So from here, this H3 will be equal to 720 kilojoule per kg. Answer. That's it. Simple. Clear or no? Okay. Next question. The inlet and outlet condition of the steam for an adiabatic steam turbine are indicated in the figure. The notations are usually are represented as usual notations. So this is point 1, this is point 2. At both the points H1, S2 are given, V1, V2 are given, Z1, Z2 are given, and P1, P2 are given. Now, if the mass flow rate of the steam through the turbine is 20 kg per second, the power output of the turbine in megawatt is. Okay, so if the mass flow rate is 20 kg per second, we have to determine the power output. Now, because this has the enthalpy change, velocity change, potential energy change, and pressure change as well. So obviously we will have to put the steady flow energy equation. So steady flow energy equation says W mass flow rate into H1 plus V1 square by 2000 plus Z1 by 1000 plus Q is equal to S2 plus V2 square by 2000 plus Z2 by 1000 plus W. Getting this? Okay. Now, there is a adiabatic steam turbine, so obviously this Q will be equal to 0. Just put all the values. So this mass flow rate is 20 into H1 minus H2. Okay, so this will be 3200 minus 2600. Okay, plus V1 square minus V2 square by 2000, 160 square minus 100 square by 2000 plus Z1 minus Z2 by 1000, 10 minus 6 by 1000. Okay, this should be equal to W. Okay, so from here you can calculate this W, total power output by turbine. So this W will be equal to 12.157 megawatt. You will get this in kilowatt, obviously. 12,157 kilowatt you will get. So in megawatt this will be 12.157 megawatt. So answer should be A. Clear or not? Okay. Okay, next part of this question says, assume the above turbine to be a part of single Rankine cycle. The density of water at inlet to the pump is 1000 kg per meter cube. Ignoring kinetic potential energy effects, the specific work supplied to the pump is. Okay, so the pump specific work of pump is nothing but VdP, as we know. Okay, now what is V? This is specific volume, which is 1 by density, okay, into dP. Okay, so just put the values. So this will be equal to 1 by 1000 into, and the change in pressure, so P1 is given as how much? 3 megapascal. This is 70 kilopascal, and work we have to calculate in kilojoule per kg. So better if you put the pressure in kilopascal only. So convert this 3 megapascal into kilopascal, which is 3000 minus 70. Okay, so this pump work will be equal to 2.93 kilojoule per kg. That's it. Okay, so answer should be C. Okay. Now, the rest of the questions I am leaving it up to you. If you have understood this much questions, I think you can solve rest of the questions. You should solve it by yourself. And the all recent questions I think is a simple one. We have discussed all the main concepts. So I am leaving it up to you. You can solve the rest of the questions. Okay. Thank you so much.